Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Taylor Nance Experience podcast. I have a wonderful guest with me today, Amy Lacey, who I met, 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago at the Align conference and immediately hit it off, and I knew I had to have her on her show. She has an amazing story, and I just want to dive right into it. Amy, welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. And yeah, we met at the Align event and your energy is off the charts. Like
Oh, thank you.
you have a love aura all around you.
Oh,
And
thank
so I
you.
told Nicole, who was with me, she's one of our investors, and she was helping me man the booth. And you met Nicole. And I'm
Yes,
like, we've
love
got
her.
to get to know Taylor better. Her energy is off the charts. So I'm so excited to be
No,
here.
it
Thank
was
you.
such a compliment, too. You were like, would you mind if we take a couple photos? I was like, I'll do one better. Let's do a commercial.
I know. Well, you're
Yeah, I was like,
you're
I'll be the face of your
serial.
brand. And Nicole's amazing, by the way. And she played the first was it softball or volleyball, right? In the
Volleyball.
Olympics, which is amazing.
No, she wasn't. Well,
Or the first professional. It
on
was
the Olympic team. She played D1 volleyball. Yeah.
played D1 volleyball, but she did something else too that was really
She's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, I
Yes.
played D1 tennis, and anyway. I just really loved her a lot. She was amazing, and you had the
Oh,
coolest little setup. And did you notice how our colors vibed the entire weekend? That
yeah,
was so interesting, right?
it
Yeah.
was. And I was like, you said, hey, I came with your colors on. And I'm like,
And I only packed 2 outfits for the trip.
and then I don't know if you were the one. I think you might have been the one that said we are spot on for 2026 for our color palette.
That was me. Yes, you are yes, because I used to work at Nike as the fashion director, and so I follow the trends. The colors that I don't know if you picked it, whoever they are. These are the colors of the year. Yes, and
And
that light mossy green that you have going on.
I
Yes,
love
in a
it.
beautiful booth,
Yeah.
and you were packed. People were loving it.
I
Yes, so
loved our booth. They did a great job.
I don't know who did it, but whoever did it did a great job. And
I know.
you need to be in Texas at Amberly's event. I don't know if you're going, but
We
you
should
should be.
definitely meet up there. I know.
Yes, we should. I'm gonna go. But let's dive into. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about you've had multiple businesses. Let's talk about the beginning. Your cauliflower pizza and your health issues. And will you start there?
Yeah, I'm going to start a little bit before
You
that
can start
because
wherever you like, please.
okay, I'm going to start with childhood really quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah. I don't even know where you're from, actually.
very brief because it wasn't till a couple years ago that I learned what I experienced in my childhood
Okay.
greatly affected what happened to me in my health when I turned 40. And then that spiral of events is how Cauliflower came about. I had a couple businesses before then.
Mhm.
You've done everything. Professional tennis, stock market, and you understand when you do multiple different things
Mhm.
what it's like. So as a child, I was raised by a single mom. My
Me
dad
too.
was
Single mom.
alcoholic, drug addict.
Okay.
My mom, I give her so much kudos for leaving him when I was 2 because she didn't want me to grow up in that lifestyle, but she
Mhm.
was struggling. So we were
Mhm.
really financially pretty poor, didn't have a lot. And when I was 12, I ended up running away from home. Now,
Wow.
I ran away from home. And during that time, I was, I lived in a small town, so it was a pretty safe town, but
Were
there
you
were,
in Florida? Sorry to interrupt you.
no, I was in Northern California.
Okay.
And a couple nights I slept on a park bench, a couple nights I slept with friends.
Wow.
Then the school got involved, put me into a foster home for a little bit. Then I ran away from there. Then I went to live with my real dad, which was just a nightmare.
Ooh.
Ran away from there. Ultimately, I ended up living with my aunt and uncle in Oregon on a farm, which taught
Okay.
me so much. But prior to that happening, I put myself in a really bad situation and I was sexually assaulted at the age of 12.
Oh my God, my
And
child is about to be
told
12.
that story. I never told that story until a couple of years ago because
I'm so glad you're telling it. Keep going.
when I sold Cauliflower, which I'm going to tell that story in just a moment. When I sold it, I went through this whole depression phase of like, who am I now? I'm no longer a CEO. I don't have this company. I am still a mom. We moved from Northern California to Florida, so I didn't have any friends. COVID hit. And so I went into therapy, and through that therapy, because I was depressed, because I didn't know who I was anymore, came about the trauma that I experienced. I ended up doing trauma therapy. And it turns out that probably the trauma that I never ever dealt with, that experience, I never dealt with it. I pushed it down. Nobody knew about it. I didn't even share it with my husband. is what manifested the illness that I had.
Gosh.
So what happened was at the age of 40, I became really sick. And one day let me backtrack too. I'm married
Okay.
and I have 3 kids.
3 kids. Okay.
I felt like and I never grew up with faith. I felt like in my heart, God blessed me with a family because I always wanted a family.
Yeah.
When I was a little girl, I always prayed for a family. I wanted siblings. I wanted a family. So I felt like God blessed me with a wonderful husband who is a great father, who came from a great family, who comes from a great family, and blessed me with 3 kids. So I wanted to start these like family traditions. And one of them was Friday night family fun night. It was pizza and board games or pizza and movies.
Yeah.
So one Saturday morning, I woke up and I couldn't move. I was in so much pain. I couldn't walk. I couldn't move. And it turned out, fast forward, going to the doctors, getting tests run, that I had lupus and Sjogren's, which is autoimmune, and I had connective tissue disorder. So a lot of autoimmune issues going on. What I found out in my 50s after going through therapy, after moving to Florida and COVID hitting, is that unresolved trauma manifested itself into illness. So my lesson number 1 that I always tell now, and usually from stage, and I did share it at Brooke's event. I don't think you were there that day. It was the
I missed it, and everything you're saying, Dr. Nurtru, is resonating so hard because I'm in EMDR therapy due to a massive amount of trauma. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
So EMDR is like kind of saved my life, and I didn't even know I had my life, really.
I've just been pushing it down for years.
Pushing it down, and it will. If you have any kind of trauma, and I say this because I've studied trauma so much now the last few years, it could just be something as simple as a coach saying something to you that just threw you completely off. It doesn't have to be a traumatic sexual assault that I experienced, or, I know a little bit about what you've experienced just from you sharing. And, we've had some pretty, and even Amberly, if you talk about Amberly,
love Amberly.
Major trauma. So it's important to deal with that because it will manifest itself.
I'm so glad you started with this story. My gosh, I did not know this. Yeah. Wow. Hold on. Wow. Okay. Blowing my mind.
Well, people see the success of being the first cauliflower pizza crust out there, and they know that I sold it, and I was on, we were at the ESPYs, the Emmys, the Teen Choice
Wow,
Awards.
cool.
We were at a lot of great events. I was on Dr. Oz, The Doctor Show, Home and Family, The View. And people see that and they don't realize how it all came about, because that business came about just serving the person I once was, which was a really sick person. So fast forward, the doctors put me on steroid shots, which have you ever been on steroids?
I have not.
Okay. It's horrific. You can't sleep. It makes you crazy because the steroids make you crazy, but also not sleeping makes you crazy. And I mean,
is that what is supposed to cure lupus?
Yes. So for some prisons use steroids as a way of like punishment for prisoners. It's horrible. And then I was on Plaquenil, which was the drug that everybody was talking about during COVID, that everybody wanted during COVID. And then they put me on Wellbutrin for anxiety, which is an antidepressant that is used to get people.
I used to be on it. Yes.
Okay. And then an anti-inflammatory. I mean, I went from nothing to all of a sudden like 5 prescription meds.
Okay.
And they all had side effects.
Yeah. That affected me. I know what you're talking about.
So I was like, I'm more miserable now than I was before. Yeah. So I've got to figure out how to help myself without medicine. And so I went to somebody, his name is Rob Wolf. He owned the first CrossFit gym in our hometown, but he became a big paleo person. He wrote a book about it. He was on TV, big guy. And so he basically said, hey, let's do an elimination diet on you and figure out what's going on. And fast forward, I learned that I needed to be gluten-free, grain-free. And I wanted to continue that tradition that I had with my family on Friday night. So I went looking for a gluten-free, grain-free pizza crust, and nothing in the market existed. There was Udi's out. That was it. And it was gluten-free. But when I tried it, it made me sicker than eating like a regular crust. Now, mind you, during this time, I had a trip to Italy, and I went to Italy and I ate a pizza and I had no problems. So it's the flour that we have in the United States.
Okay. I'm like making notes, by the way.
Yeah, that's so bad for you. So I found this cauliflower pizza crust recipe online. It was a Rachel Ray recipe, full circle moment.
Yes, totally.
We were on Rachel
Oh
Ray.
my God, I don't know any of this about you. Yeah, that's such a big deal.
Supporting her
How many
soup,
years ago was this?
supporting her soup kitchen. Well, I started the pizza crust in 2014,
Okay.
and then and I got really sick. Basically, I got very, very sick when I turned 40. So, and I started the pizza crust. Let's see, at the age of 46, it had a $46 million valuation. So between
What?
time and yeah. So let me get to that story. So
Yes, I'm all ears.
I found the Rachel Ray recipe. I tried it. It was a hot mess. I'm going to tell you, I didn't even buy cauliflower because it's a stinky vegetable. It's not green. So I'm like, is it really a vegetable? It smells bad when you cook it. It's always the last veggie standing on a veggie tray. It's not a popular vegetable, or it wasn't then. It is
Wasn't it is now. It is now.
so popular now. So back then there was just a head of cauliflower in the grocery store. Yeah. So I made it. It was a hot mess. It fell apart. I tried it again. After like the 5th time, it finally worked. And I was like, wow, okay. Well, the great thing about cauliflower is it's so bland that if you put like some Italian seasoning and some red sauce and some vegetables and maybe even some pepperoni, you can hide the taste of cauliflower and you can actually eat pizza again. And so that's what happened. And then my family loved it. My friends loved it. Eventually going gluten-free, grain-free, I eventually got off all meds and I decided that I was going to become a health coach and teach other, primarily type 2 diabetics, because I also was pre-diabetic.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to teach people how to eat gluten-free, grain-free that are diabetics so that they can maybe get off their medications and control their type 2 diabetes, not type 1, just type 2. And so I became a health coach and I started doing these healthy happy hours, which consisted of the cauliflower pizza crust. One of my clients said, you should take it to farmer's market. It'd be a great experience. We have a great Northern California farmer's market. Take that. Your kids can, they can work it, learn how to talk to people. So we did that. And during farmer's market, I would sell out before farmer's market would even happen. And then a couple groceries picked up on it. And then I was like, okay, I need to put this online. So I put it online because it was fully cooked. And I had experience. My previous company was a children's online clothing store.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I also had medical lasers after that.
Oh my God, so much comment. I love all this. Okay.
I had a lot of always serving like a purpose.
Yes, we have lots of similar interests. I love this.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to just put this online, and it really wasn't doing much. It wasn't doing much. And actually my margins were horrific. They were not good margins. I was losing money. I wasn't making money, but I was getting all these people off their medications. Surprisingly. People were writing me letters and thanking me, and the pizza crusts were winning like local awards. And so one day, and I was in New Zealand. My husband's family's from New Zealand.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
So I was in New Zealand and I was looking at our bank account and I realized that I had used up all of our savings. Excuse me for a moment. I used up all of our savings and we were remodeling our house. I used up our garage money. And I was like, okay, I know I can't go into our investment accounts. And I got on my hands and knees. And I've never done that before. Excuse me. I got on my hands and knees. I've never done that before. And I prayed to God and I was just like, God, because again, I hadn't really practiced a lot of religion. I converted to Catholicism to marry my husband because he was Catholic. But my Christianity came later through a mutual friend inviting me to do a Beth Moore Book of James Bible study. And that's where I really learned about Jesus and really developed some faith. First time I ever got on my hands and knees, I said to God, please shut this business down because I can't, my ego, I'm getting these letters, I'm helping people. I know how much it's helped me. So either you need to shut it down or make it uber successful. This was January 3rd, 2017. My books showed negative 269,000 at the end of 2016. We launched the cauliflower pizza crust in the beginning of 2015. I accepted Jesus into my life at the end of 2015. So this is January 2017. I'm on my hands and knees. I never remember my dreams, but that night I had a very vivid dream. And the dream was share Jesse's story. Now, Jessie, if I could backtrack, in 2016, is a single mom of 4 kids, her youngest severely autistic, nonverbal. Her name was Kenzie. Her name is Kenzie, still alive. And Jessie came to me and said, hey, Kenzie's doctor just put her on a low carb diet. Turns out when you're gluten-free, grain-free, you're automatically low carb. Our pizza was low carb. So she said, would you donate some pizza crust to me? Kenzie loves pizza, but she can't eat pizza anymore. I've read your story. Would you be willing to help me? And I, of course, single moms, near and dear to my heart, because my mom was a single mom. So I'm like, absolutely. So part of the reason why I wasn't making money, I was giving crust away. So I sent her crust for like 7 months. And one day she called me, again, this is 2016. And she said, late 2016, you need to come visit me. I have a surprise for you. And she lived like an hour and a half away from me. So I drove up there. And when I knocked on the door, and when the door opened, Kenzie came running to me, gave me a big hug and said, thank you. Like, she was verbal. And Jessie came out, and Jessie had lost 90 pounds eating low carb, because Kenzie wouldn't eat unless Jessie sat down and ate with her. And so Jessie was eating the way Kenzie was, which was low carb. And they were eating our pizza crust 2 or 3 times a day. And they were doing like tacos and breakfast burritos and things like that. So I went up there. She's like, let's do a photo shoot. I have before pictures of me, after, with Kenzie. Kenzie's going to school, public school this next year with an aide. I'm so grateful to you. How can I help you? Well, that night I had us, God said, share Jessie's story. The next day I had one employee, Jimmy, spelled like Jimi Hendrix. You got to meet her someday. You'll love her. She'll love you. One employee, and I called her and I said, from New Zealand, I said, I think I'm supposed to share Jessie's story. And Jimmy is like, well, I guess you better call Jessie and ask her, because you got to ask her first. And I'm not sure how we'll do it on Facebook, because they tend to shut down before and afters on weight loss. And I said, well, we'll share Kenzie's story if Jessie will let me. So I called Jessie, and this is exactly what she said. She said, oh my gosh, I'll be the Jessie of Cauliflower Foods, like the Jared of Subway without the perversion. She's like, I want it. I'm in.
Yeah.
So the next day, Jimmy created an ad on Facebook that shared Kenzie's story, but you could see the before and after pictures of Jessie in there. And that story went viral. And in January of 2017, we sold more pizza crusts than we had the entire year of 2016. Wow. And we were profitable for once. We were profitable. So we did $127,000 worth of pizza crust that month. By the end of 2017, only through God, and I'm sorry I hope it doesn't offend your viewers that I say this. I mean, I also believe in, the universe, and you put your head, you write it down. It happens.
I believe in all of that stuff. So,
yeah. So manifest.
I manifest every day.
For me,
my children manifest. So
yeah,
big believers.
By the end of 2017, we'd done $5.3 million.
So in that 1 year, wow.
And then by the end of 2018, we did 21 million.
Whoa. So negative to 5 to 21. Wow.
Only through God.
Only through God and through that story.
And
that is a good story.
Jessie's story did very well. And we
wow.
were very grateful to Jessie and took care of her in a lot of different ways for that, for helping us. But I guess the reason why I tell that story is that company is what put me on the map. I then was on Fox News, MSNBC, KTLA, The Doctor Show, Home and Family, Dr. Oz. Like, I got to start being, I got a lot of attention being the first our pizza crust. And then, of course, just like our soursop business now, we were the first soursop gummies, first soursop skincare. We got all kinds of copycats.
Yeah.
And so a lot of cauliflower pizza crust came about. At the end of 2018, a massive fire happened in Northern California in the town of Paradise. It's called the Camp Fire. If you ever have a chance, watch Ron Howard from Happy Days. You're probably too young for Ron Howard.
I'm pretty old, actually.
Okay, well, Ron Howard was Happy Days, and then he became a major producer, and he did a documentary on the Camp Fire. It burned an entire town down called the town of Paradise, which is the next town over from where I lived. It's also the same town that my mom and my stepdad, my mom remarried, still married today to my
Oh,
stepdad,
good.
and my aunt, not the one I lived with when I was a runaway, a different aunt who has no children. And they all lived in the town of Paradise. The thing is, their houses didn't burn down, but the entire town burned down. So there was no running water, no electricity, and they were not able to get the insurance from their house because their house was still standing. So they were living with me. And during this time, I had gotten a lot of offers for my company. And I thought, well, maybe this is a sign from God. This fire happened. My family needs me. They don't have the money. They're not getting the insurance payout. They can't live in their home. They can't keep living with me because I'm sleeping on the couch and my aunt's little toy poodle dog was falling in the pool every day. My husband was like scooping it out with the pool scooper. It was like this a lot of drama at my house with all these extra people and pets. And so I just saw that as a sign that I was supposed to sell my company. I ended up selling it to some venture capitalists out of Boulder, the majority of it.
Mhm.
And they made a lot of great promises. It felt like a great fit. But when they actually got in there, they changed the recipe. They fired my team that helped me build it, which was like family. Nicole was part of that team. So
Oh.
was Jimmy. They fired them and they put me on sabbatical. And while I was on sabbatical, they changed all my passwords. So
Huh.
I couldn't get access to what was happening with the business. They were very well versed in grocery, and we got into, to kudos to them, we got into Walmart nationwide, Whole Foods, Sprouts, all these major stores, which was great. But the e-com part of the business went by the wayside, and the customers were no longer number one because they were always number one for me. It was the margins and
Mhm.
how can we cheapen the recipe to make better profits. And so it pretty much ruined the company.
Wow.
And it really put me in a spiral, almost like here I am really sick again.
Mhm.
Here I am feeling betrayed. Here I am dealing with all those childhood emotions. And that's what put me in therapy, is what they did. I went to therapy, and that's when I dealt with my trauma of my 12-year-old self.
Wow.
Like
Okay.
a full circle moment. Well, I took money off the table. I moved everybody out of Northern California where there were
Mhm.
fires, and I let my husband pick where we should go. And he picked Florida, Melbourne, Florida, so on the East Coast. So now we have
Okay.
hurricanes, but at least we have a warning. With fire, you have
Yeah.
a warning.
Yeah. We have hurricanes.
Hurricanes, you got a warning. So we moved here, and I moved my mom and my stepdad, and I moved my aunt out here too. And we all moved here, and COVID hit, and I didn't have a company, and I didn't have friends, and really didn't have a purpose. I'd send everybody off to work or school because at this point, Florida was still open.
Mhm.
And then I would cry all day. And then they'd come home and I'd put on a happy face and pretend like nothing was wrong. But I would cry all day because I was like, I'm in my dream home on the water. We bought our dream home on the water. I have anything that money can buy, but I feel the most miserable I've ever felt. And so one day my family was like, you need to go into therapy. And that was the best thing I've ever done because I finally
Mhm.
dealt with something I'd never dealt with. So yeah, that's the story of cauliflower. When we moved here shortly after that, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And Jimmy, who was fired by the
Mhm.
team, helped me build cauliflower, was also diagnosed with breast cancer, almost within a week of each other.
Wow.
And Jimmy was going holistic. She was not going to do chemo radiation, and my mom was doing chemo radiation. So I had the opportunity, and if I can look at, if I can, I now live in a space of gratitude.
Mhm.
Every day I say what I'm grateful for. And you can find joy in the most horrific times. And I'm so grateful to the venture capitalists for putting me on sabbatical because it gave me the opportunity to take my mom to every doctor's appointment. Again, Florida was still open at this
Mhm.
time. And so I could take her to all those doctor's appointments. I could, still have a relationship with Jimmy, even though she was fired. And so I discovered the fruit soursop in a way to help them with their cancer diagnosis. Because if you Google soursop, it's God's fruit. If you Google what it's been used for centuries, it's used for all kinds of things from colic babies to increasing breast milk to cancer to autoimmune issues. So I started ordering the fruit.
What does the fruit look like, if you don't mind me asking?
Fruit is this
I've never heard of it until I met you.
ugly, spiky. Do I have a picture of the fruit? It is, well, I usually have a plastic fruit behind me, but it's this green, spiky, ugly fruit.
Okay.
And when you cut inside of it, it has big black seeds. You never want to eat those. They're poisonous.
Okay.
And then it's like this white, fleshy kind of fruit that tastes like a combo of strawberries and pineapple. It's delicious.
Now,
But
does it grow in Florida? Sorry to interrupt you. Or can you buy it at the grocery store? Where did you
there
find
is a
this?
female farm you can get it from
Mhm.
in Miami,
Okay.
but it mainly grows in the Caribbean, and we
Oh,
source all of
wow.
ours from Brazil.
Wow.
So it's hard to get. And when I was ordering it, you would get like 3 pieces at a time. I'm not kidding, 3 to 5 pieces at a time. It costs like $300.
Wow.
And there was no money back guarantee if they were spoiled. So half of it would be spoiled, half of it would be good. But the good part, I was making fresh smoothies out of it. And I realized I was looking at my hands and my face, and I'm like, wow, my inflammation is going down, because I was so inflamed from all the, stress of what was happening.
I know.
And I noticed it was really helping me, and I felt like it was helping my mom, and Jimmy felt like it was helping her. And it does cell regeneration. And if you look, I can't promote this at all. But if you go to WebMD and you read some of the articles, April of 2024 and July of 2025, you read some of the articles, they will take some of the UK articles, again, only done on rats, hasn't been done on humans, but it shows that the soursop will attack the cancer cells without attacking the good cells, which is the problem with chemo and radiation. It attacks.
Oh my gosh.
So there's some cell regeneration there and some amazing benefits. It's also so high in vitamin C. And so I was like, okay, this is really expensive. It's really hard to get. I'm an entrepreneur. I can figure this out. How can I make this fruit accessible to everybody? Because I'm seeing huge benefits. And if I thought cauliflower pizza crust was amazing, and by the way, we coined the phrase and I tried to trademark it. If cauliflower can be a pizza crust, girl, you can do anything.
Oh, I love that.
Become anything. So I was like, okay, how can I make this work? And I saw that there was some tinctures out of soursop. There was bitters out. I ordered all of it. I tried it. It was horrible. I'm like, okay, there's capsules that say they have a certain milligram of soursop in it on Amazon, and it's fraud, because there's no possible way to get that amount in a capsule. So I started meeting with different manufacturers. I found, the gummies were our first product. You're holding them up. And so I found a gummy manufacturer, and I'm like, okay, I want to make the most powerful immunity gummy out there. I want to beat out airborne. Can you help me? And they said, yeah, let's add echinacea elderberry in there, and let's make the most powerful gummy. And it truly is. Like, everybody should take it every day, and their kids can take it too, even though it says not under 18. That's just it's just fruit. My kids take it. My
kids are already taking it. It's really incredible. It got me through that trip, which I should have been sick on after the week I had, and then I got home and I didn't have any gummies and I got sick.
It's just, my daughter and I are obsessed with it. We eat it every day. The boys don't always eat it, and the boys will get sick, and we never get sick. I never get sick anymore. And I used to get sick all the time, and I would have to, every once in a while, shoot myself with a steroid shot. I never get sick. I take the gummies, but I also drink the shakes. And I have...
Where do we get the shakes? Back up. Where shakes?
Yeah. So we created shakes at the same time we created gummies. And the reason why I did the shakes is because Jimmy was on this concoction that they did, where they actually did infuse it into her. And a lot of it was turmeric, white thistle, milk thistle, goji berries, a lot of superfoods that they were infusing in her. And so I started studying all those superfoods, and I'm like, okay, let's add soursop, and let's add Irish sea moss. Now, Jimmy can't take Irish sea moss, but I started reading about Irish sea moss. And so I added those to the shakes to make the most powerful shakes. I also had been studying fiber and how important fiber is. And you hear people talk all the time about protein.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read the studies, 93% of Americans are getting enough protein.
Mm-hmm.
97% of Americans don't get even half the fiber they need every
Mm-hmm.
day. Fiber is huge. Fiber
Mm-hmm.
and sleep. If I could
Oh, I know.
work on anything, it would be get more fiber and get more sleep. So I wanted the shakes to have high fiber, superfoods in them. I didn't put protein in them on purpose because protein in shakes is so controversial. Like some people are pea protein, some people are whey protein. I just wanted people to pick their own protein and put it in. And that's how I drink the smoothies. I make a shake. I use the shake, I call it a shake, but I use it as a food boost. So I'll put it in my yogurt, Greek yogurt, high protein, or I'll make a smoothie.
Oh, we all need this.
And I'll add protein to it. But the shake, I started drinking the shake and the gummies every day. My hairdresser's like, what is happening with your hair?
I saw the video.
People think I have extension ends. No,
you have great hair.
My hair will not stop growing. Like she has to thin it out.
That's amazing.
She's like, what changed? And I'm like, these shakes. I'm telling you, it's these shakes. And then
we buy these shakes. You're going.
Buy them online.
On Amazon? Or on your website?
On our website and on Amazon. And
are you in any stores yet?
We are not. I'm not pushing stores right now.
Okay.
I have not pushed stores. I really do need to get into stores, but we haven't pushed stores yet. But we did run out of the chocolate, which happens to be my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
We do have the Soursop Surge shake out right now. We did make an apple and a pumpkin flavor, and it wasn't a big hit. So
I love this so much. I'm just gonna order this one.
Well, you got to try the shakes, though.
Oh no, I'm gonna order the shakes in this flavor. Is what I'm saying.
And then we
like today.
We did electrolytes, which sold out like that.
Oh,
because we use Celtic salt, we use the highest grade magnesium, which most electrolytes.
I need so much of it.
And we don't have a lot of sodium in it because if you look at traditional electrolytes, they're for the gym rat, and I want it to be for people that aren't in the gym.
And kids too could take this.
Yeah. And kids, yes.
Yeah.
And so the electrolytes sold out really quickly. We just reordered, and we are going to start doing different flavors of the electrolytes, and we're going to do them in sticks.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
At the end of 2026. So you can just carry them. But the electrolytes have been a huge, huge hit. More so than the shakes. More so than the gummies, really. So we will keep the shakes. We'll keep the electrolytes.
Yeah, they're all wonderful. It sounds all wonderful.
Yeah. And Jimmy came back to help me build Soursop.
Good. And breast cancer gone?
Breast cancer free. Her markers are good. She never did the traditional route. My mom went the traditional route. She got a lump in her lymph node after she went through all the treatments, and I doused her with Soursop. I mean, we're talking the real fruit, all the experimental stuff I was testing. We were doing capsules. We were doing bitters, tea, the gummies, the shakes, everything I had, I was dosing her with it. And that went away.
Do you make a tea yet?
We are not going to make a tea. There's a lot of teas out there, and I've experimented with the leaves. And at this time, we're not going to do a tea.
Okay.
I've even experimented with, I had 2 golden retrievers. One of them had severe arthritis. I was even experimenting on the golden retriever. She's since passed away, but I'm going to stay out of the pet space. We're going all in on skincare.
Oh, I can't wait. It's amazing. Keep going.
Nothing like it out on the market. The vitamin C serum, there are other Soursop vitamin C serums, but the hyaluronic restoration cream, nothing like it out there. The firming cream, we've learned now the firming cream can be used on other parts of your body.
Oh, I was watching your videos. Now, what were you using on your booty?
I was using it on my legs because I was getting like jelly legs, and I was using on that. So we're going to make a bigger batch of the firming cream for the body.
And that's
we're making an eye cream because
I was going to say eye cream and lip cream. Can we have those too, please?
Because one of the things that we never tested this yet, we will though, but one of the things that's coming back to us through mainly a lot of people in Miami that have been trying the skincare is that they're going 3 to 6 months longer without getting their Botox or Dysport.
That's amazing.
And they're finding that it's helping their skin.
Yeah.
And then we also learned, and we knew this, like from testing it, that it helps with acne and acne scars. It helps with sunburns.
Yep.
It's amazing. I actually was experimenting with a mask, and there's a before and after picture of my face. It's a legit before and after
Mm-hmm.
picture. I had been experimenting with a turmeric mask. It turns out my body loves turmeric inside, but doesn't love it on the outside. And I got a massive sunburn from the turmeric mask, like burnt, really badly burnt, blisters. And I was using our skincare, and within a week it had calmed down, and you can see a before and after picture of that. And that's a legit before and after picture.
I can't
Uh,
wait to see.
all of our pictures are legit before and afters. So it's like, I want it to, that's why I have 100% money back guarantee. I want it to help. And if it doesn't, then I want to give you your money back. But it is, Jimmy's an esthetician. She used to own her own shop before she helped me with cauliflower. And that's how I met her. She was my
Oh, does
esthetician.
she have the short dark hair? She's the one on the videos?
Curly hair. Curly.
Curly, short. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, okay. Yeah, she was talking about the packet. Okay. Yes, I know who she is now.
She helped, along with a chemist and a dermatologist, create these forms.
Amazing. Okay.
And they're amazing. The cleanser is it's a treatment and a cleanser.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
then,
love that.
yeah. And everything is, we didn't add fragrance to anything.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the food, going back to the food industry.
Yeah.
When in 2015, 16, 17, even 18, it was starting to really boom. 19 really starting to boom. You couldn't find a lot. You could find Annie's mac and cheese. You could find Amy's frozen meals, but there wasn't like a healthy section in the grocery store. There wasn't healthy cereals or healthy granola bars or healthy ice cream. Now it's the rave, right?
Yes, I mean, my child has dyslexia and ADHD, and I'm always searching for healthy products. Always.
And you'll find them at the grocery store. There's all these founders that have come up with, I mean, you find coffee creamers, ice cream, pizza crust, you name it, you can find it in a healthier version. Cereal is a big thing. And so like the Kraft and the Nestle's of the world are starting to pay a price for not having healthy foods. And they're starting to acquire smaller companies that are healthier. They're trying to make themselves healthier. And I want to say one thing to your viewers too.
Yes, please.
When you're reading a label on a food label, the FDA, and you can Google it, the FDA allows a 20% variance on the label. So you could have, and I said this at Brooke's event, I say it at everywhere I go because I want people to know that for those products that these big companies are putting out that have hydrogenated oils and sugar, cane syrup, whatever it is, you can bet they have 20% more in there than they actually put on the label because the FDA,
and they're so addicting. My 9-year-old's completely addicted to sugar. It's terrible. Yeah. I need all of your help.
Just look at the labels and think, okay, I need to add an extra 20% to this because it's allowed and they don't have to claim it. So you have to be really careful. Now, when you find a founder like me that cares so deeply, and you know, I care so much about what the label says and being authentic, then you know it's a legit label. Like we would never abuse that. But I guarantee you, I know 100% for a fact the bigger brands take advantage of that because it helps their bottom line. And it's all about money. So you got to be careful on that. What I'm seeing with skincare is the same thing I saw with the food industry. There's going to be a major transition in skincare, excuse me, in 2026. You're going to start seeing the big brands like Estee Lauder and Lancome and products like that be called out for fragrances that cause cancer, for what containers they put the products in. I mean, people are going to start calling out these bigger brands, and they're going to be looking for small boutique brands that care like us, that really spend a lot of time and the majority of our money finding the right formulas that are healthy, that are safe, that do the job, but yet are, you know, quality ingredients. And we recently, I was working this fundraiser in Miami. Miami's an interesting place, by the way. Anyways, there was a plastic surgeon / dermatologist at the event, and she came up to my booth and she's like, you know, we're talking about the skincare, and she's like, well, let me test your, and I actually have some right here. She's like, let me test your hyaluronic. Cause I'm like, you know, we have high and low, and, you know, adding the soursop to it makes it the most unique hyaluronic cream on the market? And she goes, well, I've tested stuff that's $50 on up to $600. And she's like, I've got a way to test it. And she squirted on her hand and she rubbed it in like this. And then she waved it and she said, I'm going to blow on it and we're going to see. I'm going to be able to tell you just by looking at it. You smell how clean it smells because we added natural
so good
citrus oils because I'm a citrus girl.
Me too.
I like it. I would rather it be more citrus and clean than floral. I'm not really that. Anyway, she kept going like this and she said, because it kept the sheen and it dried slower, she said, this is very, very high quality. She
What a
said,
good story.
how much are you charging for this? And I told her and she was like, you could charge so much more. And I said, yeah, but nobody knows us. So I really can't charge so much more. And I don't have the, I have the money that I made before to put into this company, which I put a lot of money in. I have that money, but I don't have the millions and millions of dollars that Lancome has for marketing. Like I just, I don't have that. So I'm not going to charge that. I want people to try it and love it and see the results and, get it for a reasonable price. And so that's what we've done. We've done it as a kit or you can order it singly. But yeah, she just was raving about it. And I'm going to be honest with you, Taylor. I was I was so nervous. I was like,
I mean, do you have that on video? I hope you posted that. That's such a good story.
I know I haven't done the video yet.
Well, now you told the story. So now we can get it out.
That event was the week after I got back from Brooke's event. So it was the very next
Oh my God, it was last week.
It was last week, last Saturday.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I was not this last Saturday, a week before.
Okay.
So Brooke's
was sick for a whole week, so I lost a week.
Brooke's event has been a couple weeks ago. So it was the very week after Brooke's event. Last Saturday and
then you went on a cruise.
Yeah, I was gone. So yeah, I didn't know what she was doing. I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. I was so nervous. And then she was like, this is really good. And she ordered the kit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she took the kit because she wanted to take it back to her office. Now, hope she doesn't copy us, but whatever.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah. And so I was just super excited about it.
That's really a big deal.
And I love how my skin looks.
You have wonderful skin.
I used to go to the dermatologist all the time and get, do different things, lasers, injections, whatever. I haven't been in so long. And I love how my skin feels. I only use our products. That's all I use. So.
Well, I'm really excited. I've only been on them for 2 days, and my 9-year-old looked at me this morning. She goes, "Wow, Mom, your skin looks so much better than last week." She goes, "You don't have any more." And I don't normally get tons of pimples, but being sick, I had an ear infection, pink eye, it was the whole thing. And she was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "It's the products, honey."
Oh, that's awesome!
I had 2 days. I know. I'm so excited to introduce everyone to these products. By the way,
and for kids that have acne, we say use just
the 12-year-old.
Yeah, just don't use the firming cream on them because it's really moisturizing.
I'm gonna use this on my booty though, and you're gonna make a bigger jar of that.
Yeah.
Now
we used it on my legs and booty, and
it worked. Did it get rid of cellulite and stuff?
Well, I did a 14-day test, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I saw the biggest difference towards the end when I added a brush and I started brushing.
Oh, okay.
Then using it. So I was like, we need a brush.
Yes, you do need a brush. It needs to be a whole body lotion brush. I mean, that's such a big thing.
Yeah. And I started brushing every day and then I saw the difference. So I think it was the combo of the cream and the brush.
Okay.
But I saw it more towards the end of the month. I had set a 14-day challenge and what I needed to do was like a 30-day challenge. I saw it more closer to the end, but yeah, I definitely did. Now, also I started walking a lot. So I was doing exercises also. And me personally, I've been on a weight loss journey now for a while. During that time that I talked about where I was in that funk and depression, I gained like 50 pounds after moving to Florida.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That just comes with depression. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've been on that weight loss journey and just doing intermittent fasting, which isn't for everybody.
I was gonna ask you about that. Did you do, sorry to interrupt you, do you do like 24 hours or do you do 3 days or what do you do?
Well, I do a spiritual fast where I have gone 3 days. But that was like for spiritual reasons. The intermittent fasting, I will stop eating at 6 and then I don't again until 1. Now, that's not going to work for everybody. That's how it works for me. And I break my fast with a smoothie that I use our Soursop Cell and Immunity Shake. And then I put frozen fruit in it. And excuse me, sometimes I'll put a cup of coffee in there as well. And I usually put, because I like a kind of like a peanut butter and jelly taste. So I'll put some almond butter in it. And I also add protein powder because I want the protein also, and we don't have the protein. When I was talking about the fiber on our shake fiber runs from anywhere from 7 to 9 milligrams. It's more fiber than IM8, Bloom, and AG1 combined.
Wow.
So that tells you it's a lot of fiber. And then we have all the vitamins. I mean,
I can't wait to order this.
B, D, A, C, mass amounts of vitamin C. That's what the Soursop provides. But so I'll drink the shake. Sometimes I'll put a frozen banana in it. Not always, because, you know, that is high calories. But if I'm exercising a lot, I like the potassium. So I don't get cramps. So I'll break it with that. And I literally am not hungry until like 4 o'clock. And then I'll eat a really healthy meal. And then I'll have some snacks before I stop my fast at 6. Sometimes I'll go as late as 8. But yeah, I usually try to go that window of 6 to 8, stop eating. And then I don't eat again until 1 the next day. I really don't, but I'll drink, like I'm drinking water with
You're making me so thirsty.
I'll drink water with our electrolytes. That truly is the way I break my fast, really. But the next meal will be the shake.
Okay.
And I'll put cottage cheese in it too.
Oh, I love cottage cheese.
And I also put a half avocado in it, mainly because it makes the texture better, but also it gives you the healthy fats. So that's kind of my smoothie, and it keeps me full for hours, and I love it. And I've lost like 32 pounds. I still have more to lose. Definitely have more to lose. I was looking at some of the videos at Brooke's event, and I'm like, yeah, but I
think you look great. But
well, thank you. But yeah, you look really good. Like,
well, thank you. We'll talk about peptides at another time. But
no, let's. I want
to. But first, because Jamie says we're running out of time. How do people find you? How do I buy all of your products right now?
Okay, so
I want the smoothie. I want everything that we just talked about. You sent me this, which I'm so obsessed with. I want the smoothies. I want the shakes. I want them today, tomorrow.
Let's give, if you can provide.
So tell the listeners how they can find you.
They can find it at soursopnutrition.com.
Okay.
They can go to Hey Amy Lacey on Instagram or Living Be Me on Instagram. Our company is called Living Beyond Medicine, but our products are Soursop Nutrition, and our skincare is Livion.
And now I had trouble finding the gummies on Amazon.
Okay, they are on Amazon.
Okay, there's a bunch of fakers. I just had to look harder.
Yeah. We should be coming up as the first or second one.
I'll look again. I just remember when I was out there, we looked.
Be very careful with what you order on Amazon.
Oh, I didn't order anything because it wasn't yours.
But a lot of people are reselling our products. If it's a really high price, it's not us.
So should we not buy it from Amazon?
No, you can buy it from Amazon. Just make sure you're getting it from Soursop Nutrition. And then also, if we can provide you a link, we can give your listeners a discount.
Yes. Jamie, we'll put that on the show.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll get Jeannie, the person that you raved about.
Yes. I can't wait to meet her and talk to her. I think I'm talking to her after this show.
And then your listeners can get a discount, and then they'll go directly to our site to get it.
Perfect.
They'll get a better discount on our website with your link than they will on Amazon.
Okay. And all my clients need this. Oh, this is just.
And then shipping is the same. Like we ship out of my hometown here in Melbourne, Florida, and shipping goes out right away, whether it's Amazon or not. So
are you making it in your hometown, the skincare?
No, the skincare it's a whole nother story, but a very good friend of mine that is a manufacturer is doing it, and he can scale, and they are amazing, and it's not in Florida. But everything's made in the United States.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I love the bottles. Our
shakes are made in Florida. Our gummies are made in Florida, but our skincare is not made in Florida. But
we're going to have to get that sourced locally. We're going to have someone carry that here so I can get it today.
Yeah.
Well, apparently we've gone over our time. Okay. Tell everyone your socials again, just so we can have it. And Jamie's going to link everything.
Okay. I will respond to my DMs on Hey Amy Lacey.
Okay.
In Instagram. And so that's the best way to get in touch with me if you DM me through Instagram. And then Living
And
Beyond
then,
Medicine, Living
perfect.
Be Me is the company Instagram. You can find it in my bio as well. And yeah, and then if you just type in soursopnutrition.com, you'll get our website, but we will have a link and a discount here.
Yes. Now, also tell me about your book. Tell me, we're over time. We're just making us get off though.
Okay, we're over time. Well, I wrote.
Oh my God! All right. Well, listeners, this was so wonderful. We could talk for hours. Everyone, look at the brand. Look at this wonderful lady. What a wonderful show. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have learned more about you, and I can't wait to buy all the products and talk more once we wrap this up.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're so welcome. Bye.